What is up, budget builders? My name is Trill, and there could be another $1,100 stimulus check coming this year. Well, that is for one state. Over the last 60 days, we have seen more states and cities offering its own stimulus check to its residents. But today, we want to talk about how another $1,100 check could be coming to the entire state. In other news, guys, the invasion of Ukraine is heating up right now, and there was a report that came out on Friday that said that Vladimir Putin said that they could invade Ukraine during the Olympics. That sent the stock market into a complete crash throughout the day on Friday. Could we be headed towards another recession is what most people think is happening right now. But no one really knows, guys. But I will say, if this invasion of Ukraine really pops off, I'm sure the stock market will take a dive as investors would become fearful of what the future holds in store. And last but not least, guys, hey, the Super Bowl is tomorrow on Sunday. And I want to know what you guys believe who will win that game. We will have Cincinnati Bengals against the Los Angeles Rams. And I'm going to try to pop up a poll on this channel so that you guys can select exactly who you think is going to win this Super Bowl game. But anyways, guys, hey, if you're interested in any of these topics today and you want to be a part of this channel, be so kind and go ahead and subscribe to it. It's totally free. And if you end up liking today's video, then go ahead and hit that like button for us. It really helps out this channel. Now, let's go ahead and get right back into this video. All right, guys, real quick, I wanted to ask you for your support on my new YouTube channel that will be launching sometime this month. And it's called Budget Build Finance. And I'm going to be talking about how to grow your wealth, how to invest in stocks, as well as how to invest in real estate. And I'm going to be showing you guys exactly what I'm doing outside of YouTube. So if you want to be a part of that channel, be so kind and go ahead and subscribe to it today. I hope to see you guys there. Now, that link will be down below in the description. Well, guys, on Thursday, the inflation numbers were released, and it looks like inflation surged about 7.5% on an annual basis, even more than expected and the highest that we've seen since 1982. Now, the Consumer Price Index, or better known as the CPI, for all items ended up rising about 0.6% in January, driving up annual inflation by 7.5%. That marked the biggest gain since February of 1982 and was even higher than what Wall Street was actually expecting. Now, the core inflation rose about 6%, which also was a notch above expectations, and real earnings for workers increased about 0.1% on the month when accounting for inflation. Now, the weekly jobless claims that was reported actually declined to 223,000, below the 230,000 estimate that they were estimating. But again, guys, these numbers continue to disappoint Americans as well as investors, and the stock market continues to suffer because of it. And mostly that is because the federal government decided that they are no longer going to be pumping more money into the economy, considering we are pretty much almost out of this pandemic. And in addition to that, the federal government decided that they are ready to go ahead and start hiking interest rates in this country. So we've already know that the Fed ended up releasing the information stating that they are going to raise the interest rates at least 3 to 7 times this year alone. So guys, that right now is driving up the inflation in this country, as well as putting fear into investors, in which once you have investors not willing to invest in stocks and different things like that, then you end up causing prices in the stock market and prices for companies to end up dropping. So that is exactly what we are dealing with right now. And what did we have on Friday, guys? Yes, the stock market ended up dropping about 500 points. The NASDAQ ended up sinking about 2% on the fears of a Russian attack on Ukraine. Yes, guys, that's exactly what came out on Friday. There was a news report that came out stating that Vladimir Putin mentioning that they could be invading Ukraine while the Olympics is going on. So that's within the next 2 weeks or so. So again, guys, that ended up sinking the stock market down below 500 points in one single day. And as I stated, guys, investors are just a little bit weary and a little bit nervous and fearful about continuing to invest in the stock market right now, when we are already on the verge of having interest rates being raised, as well as going to war with the Russians. I mean, what else can you expect, guys? But anyways, that is exactly what we are dealing with right now, and that is causing some pressure on the stock market. But if you are not already invested, guys, I still tell you that you need to start investing, at least if you have at least $5 to put into the stock market. And that is because once you sign up for a brokerage account, you are already going to get at least 2 free stocks, and you can actually get that from signing up with Webull. Yes, guys, that link will be down below in the description. So if you don't already have a brokerage account in which you can buy stocks and sell stocks, you want to go ahead and sign up for a Webull account using the link down below. Now, once you sign up for that Webull account, they are going to give you at least 2 free stocks worth up to $3,000. And yes, once you sign up for an account, you're going to get that first stock. And then once you deposit any amount of money, and that could be as low as $1. Once you deposit that amount of money into your account, you're going to get your second free stock. Yes, I did say free stock, guys, because you are going to get 2 free stocks. But anyways, guys, hey, that link will be down below in the description. And like I said, guys, if you're not investing already, this is the perfect time to go ahead and prepare yourself and your account to go ahead and start buying stocks here sometime in the near future, especially if the market crashes. You want to be ready right there to be able to jump in and buy you your favorite stock or your favorite company so that you can own a piece of that company. So again, guys, hey, I hope that information was helpful to you. But now in other news, guys, hey, talking about this particular discussion between President Biden and Vladimir Putin on this issue of invading Ukraine. Yes, those two individuals planning on talking today, sometime today, guys. According to this article, it says that Biden and Putin will talk today on Saturday as the U.S. warns Americans to go ahead and leave Ukraine within the next 48 hours over the fears of a Russian attack. And yes, we've already know that the president has continually been sending over troops into the Ukraine along the border, as long as sending F-15 fighter jets over to Poland to go ahead and sit there just in case something pops off. And we just had it released, guys, just yesterday on Friday. They sent another 3,000 troops over. So again, guys, we don't know what's going to happen, but hopefully after this meeting sometime today between Biden as well as Putin, hopefully they can resolve this issue and we don't have to go into a war. But it says that President Joe Biden plans to speak with the Russian President Vladimir Putin on Saturday. A person familiar with the matter said, as the U.S. warns Russia could attack Ukraine using bombs and missiles at any given moment. Now, the high stakes talks comes at what U.S. officials described as a critical juncture in the ongoing crisis, which is a significant increase of Russian ground forces and military assets have surrounded Ukraine, and Putin could decide at any moment to activate them into a deadly invasion on Ukraine. Now, so far, he hasn't decided whether to act, the White House said on Friday, but that has not stopped American officials from dramatically increasing their warnings, and attack is now a distinct possibility and could offer swiftly notice. But again, guys, hey, that phone call between Biden and Putin will be happening around 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, according to the Kremlin, and it will be his first since the end of December. Since then, the number of Russian troops near Ukraine has increased, and the prospects of an invasion have increased, according to the American intelligence assessments. So again, guys, we could be on the verge of a war seriously happening in this country, but not in this country, guys. We are sending our troops to another country to go ahead and fight for another country against the Russians. But again, guys, hey, that is exactly what we are dealing with right now. But on to some other news, guys. Hey, we have some good news right here, guys, because you may no longer have to wear a mask, as if you already have to wear a mask right now. But according to this article, guys, nearly a dozen more states are now ending the masking mandates as COVID-19 infection rates continue to fall.
We're going to begin tonight with the pandemic, the nation turning a corner. But when it comes to masks coming off now, there are those who say it's about time and others who are still asking, are we taking a chance here before we know for sure that we're in the clear? New cases are down nearly 70% since the Omicron peak. Hospital admissions down 40%. Tonight, at least 10 states have announced changes to their mask mandates. Nevada, the latest. The governor there lifting all restrictions, schools included, effective immediately. Many parents across the country in school board meetings and elsewhere still asking important questions. Is it too soon? while others making the case that their kids shouldn't have to wear masks anymore.
Now, since Monday, 11 states have announced changes to their statewide mask policies. And as a result of that, a growing number of states are moving to drop mask mandates and COVID-19 restrictions as Americans hope to move into a new phase of the pandemic. The decision comes despite continued pushback from the Centers of Disease and Control and Prevention, which still recommends the mask be worn in areas of substantial or high transmission and in educational settings, regardless of your vaccination status. But we're not quite there yet, the CDC director said. The CDC still recommends that all schools encourage students to wear well-fitting masks consistently and while indoors. And that's consistent with our guidance that still also recommends that people mask in public indoor settings in areas of high or substantial transmission. Now, nationwide, nearly 99% of U.S. countries Nationwide, nearly 99% of U.S. counties are still reporting high community transmission. And in this article, they said that we owe it to our children to make sure that they can safely stay in school. Right now, that includes masking up. We've seen outbreaks that have occurred in communities where students were not masked in schools and had to close. And much of our guidance is based on the amount of community transmission. But again, guys, this is some very promising news, and we are going to keep our fingers crossed and hope that a new variant of this COVID-19 doesn't come. Yes, guys, we hope that another variant does not come. And guys, next month is going to hit the anniversary in which the official start date of when the pandemic actually started. So guys, I don't know if you are going to be celebrating this particular pandemic hitting its 2-year anniversary, but I definitely won't be celebrating, but I will be celebrating this weekend because we are looking towards ending this whole entire pandemic, and I am grateful for that. And then on to some even greater news, guys. We do have another potential $1,100 stimulus check that could be coming sometime this year. Now, according to this article, California budget surplus. We've all talked about this on the previous video, how California has a huge billions and billions and billions of dollars in surplus money that is available. And right now, the governor of California is deciding what to do with this money. Well, I'll give you one answer, Mr. Governor. You could go ahead and give your residents of California another stimulus check. And according to this article, guys, because California has this large budget surplus, it is big enough to even give every resident at least an $1,100 stimulus check, according to these state lawmakers. Yes, California is deciding whether to possibly send another round of stimulus checks to deal with a massive projected budget surplus. One state lawmaker on Wednesday made the case for more tax rebates. But in a video released online, Republican State Senator Brian Jones used grains of rice to break down the projected budget surplus, which as of January was estimated around $45.7 billion. And he said that if each grain of rice is around $100,000, that means California's $45 billion surplus is taxes overcollected by this much. Jones explained as he shifted the large pile of rice around his hand. So what do you do with all this money? $45 billion. What do you do? Well, according to the state senator, the amount of money is enough to send every Californian a tax rebate of $1,125 or $4,500 for a family of 4 people. Now, more stimulus checks are a possibility because the surplus is likely to exceed California's constitutional limit as set by the voter-approved Proposition 4, or what's more commonly known as the GAN limit. Now, that essentially restricts the amount of tax revenue the state can spend while giving lawmakers options on what to do with the leftover funds, including giving it back to taxpayers in the form of a rebate. Well, the state has only hit the GAN limit twice since Proposition 4's passage back in 1979, including last year. Now, in unveiling his sweeping $286 billion budget proposal for 2022 fiscal year last month, Governor Gavin Newsom noted that his office projected a surplus of around $2.6 billion over the constitutional limit. What does that all mean, guys? Hey, it does mean the possibility that they could persuade, and I'm talking about lawmakers, they could persuade Governor Gavin Newsom to go ahead and use some of that money to go ahead and offer another stimulus check to its residents, because we all know those in California are really struggling right now, especially the ones that are in the low as well as the moderate income levels. So yes, they have enough money to at least give another $1,100 stimulus check to its citizens and residents of the state, as well as still have billions of dollars left over to do whatever it would like to do in the state of California. So, do you guys live in California? Do you think that this is a good idea to offer another stimulus check to its residents in California? I mean, we've already seen several stimulus checks already given to the American people or Californians. So, we've had the Golden State Stimulus 1, we've had the Golden State Stimulus 2, and then we had another stimulus check that was offered prior to that, and then additional stimulus checks. So we have seen a lot of stimulus funds being offered to the residents in California, and they could be on the verge of seeing another $1,100 stimulus check being offered sometime in 2022. So again, guys, hey, I hope this information was helpful to you. Well, anyways, guys, hey, that's all I have for you today. Now, if you enjoyed this type of content and you want to see more, hey, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's totally free. And if you like this video, then go ahead and hit that like button for us. It really helps out this channel, as well as it tells YouTube to share this video with others. But anyways, guys, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.